All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Yankees recap. This is where we recap all the latest news, updates, and everything going on in the Yankees community. Now, with the Yankees coming off their doubleheader sweep of the Red Sox, of course, we have a lot we got to hit on today. But real quick, before we do, one quick favor, please drop a like on the video. It not only helps out the video a lot, but it helps out this channel overall a great deal. So I appreciate you in advance for that. But without further ado, let's get started. And we're going to begin with more history being set by the Yankees starting pitcher, that is Luis Gil, who has now made 3 starts and has yet to allow a run in 15 2/3 innings, making him the first pitcher ever to have his first 3 major league starts be scoreless. And to me, well, obviously that's a very impressive stat. Anytime you see the first pitcher ever or first player ever to do something, that's automatically impressive. But to me, what's even more impressive is he's been able to handle the big stage. All of these 3 starts have come in Yankee Stadium. And, you know, I said this last week that he seemed to face his first, true test. And that was, he was in a jam. I believe it was bases loaded or first and third, nobody out. And he was able to keep his composure and he got out of it. And then tonight, Tuesday night, when I'm recording this, he faced the Red Sox in Yankee Stadium in a playoff-like atmosphere, fired 4 2/3 innings, would have probably gone 5 if not for Tyler Wade's little error at shortstop. But regardless, he was impressive tonight. He was electric tonight, and you can tell he feeds off the crowd big time. It kind of reminds me of Severino or Jabba Chamberlain when they first came up. And we're kind of getting to the point now where you look at Gil starts and it's all right, it's Luis Gil day. You know, you don't want to miss him. The same way when Judge first came up, you don't want to miss any of his at bats. Right now, you pencil down when Luis Gil is starting because you don't want to miss him. That's how I'm feeling about him, at least. And anyway, speaking of his performance, of course, at least in part, it led to the Yankees doubleheader sweep of the Red Sox, and they now possess a wildcard spot. Guys, we can finally say if the season ended today, the Yankees would make the postseason. And also, Oakland, they've lost 3 in a row. The White Sox, they're taking care of business against the A's, and there's now a 3-way tie in the wildcard race, which is very exciting. And also, Boston, they have the worst winning percentage of us 3, so technically, at least to me, they're not even in the playoffs right now, the way it's going. But to be honest, I'm not worried about them going forward. I think it's finally kind of a return to the norm or a market correction, if you will. The Red Sox are not that good of a team. Their offense definitely is pretty solid. They're pitching even with the return of Chris Sale. Now that we've officially caught up to them and in such a short time, I honestly don't look at them as too big of a threat. But it definitely would be nice to finish off the series with a sweep Wednesday night for sure. Now, as for the division, the Rays, they keep winning. So the Yankees, they remain 5 games back of the division. That's what I have my hopes set on right now, at least what I'm looking at, because I've been on the record saying this for quite some time now. The postseason, to me, that's a lock. So for now, I feel like we should just kind of be scoreboard watching what the Rays do. And of course, the Yankees just need to keep winning. And then we wrap up the season with a 3-game set in the Bronx against the Rays. So it could get interesting come the end of the season. Moving on to Luke Voit's controversial quotes, or for some reason controversial. You know, some people didn't have a problem with it. I feel like nobody should have a problem with it. But some people were kind of up in arms about it, which I don't really understand. Basically, Voit was saying that he deserves playing time and he deserves to play just as much as Anthony Rizzo does. Now, I'm going to play the entire clip for you. I have no problem with Voit with what he said. You know, I kind of like the attitude. I think he said all the right things, everything you'd want a player who's competitive to say.
You know, I was top 10 MVP last year, and I've been a great player for this organization for the last 3 years, and you know, I'm not going down. You know, I want to play. Obviously, I know it's going to be tougher with Rizzo, but, you know, I deserve to play just as much as he does. And, you know, I led the league in home runs last year, and I feel really good again. And obviously, you know, the injury bug is the reason he's here, you know, because of me. But, yeah, I mean, obviously, I hope Booney can do whatever he can to, you know, try to get me some consistent at-bats.
So, yeah, that's what Voit had to say about the whole Anthony Rizzo situation. And I think he's absolutely right. And, what do you expect him to say? Do you want a player to not be competitive? I don't understand why people are all up in arms about this. It's not as if he said, I don't understand why the Yankees went out and got Anthony Rizzo. He didn't say that at all. He even admitted to being injured, this entire year up until this point. But he said he's finally been able to find his stroke. He was top 10 in the American League MVP voting last year, led the world in home runs. And another thing I like that he said is that since he came here, he's been nothing but productive for this organization. So as long as he's healthy and as long as he's performing, which since coming off the IL this past time, he has been performing, there's no reason why he shouldn't be consistently in the lineup. And especially with the fact that Giancarlo Stanton, he can now play the outfield and he can play it well, clearly, as we've seen. What you can do is, it's pretty damn simple. It's not even worth discussing. Voit is your DH. Stanton can play left. Judge, Gallo, whoever will play center. Whoever doesn't play center will play right. It's pretty simple, and that's what I'm going to imagine Aaron Boone and the Yankees are going to do. So I don't even think it's worth really talking about or stressing over, because if the Yankees don't do that, then they're not putting their best effort in to win, because the Yankees are a better team when Luke Voit is in their starting lineup. Anyways, speaking of Anthony Rizzo, he's expected back any day now. It could come as soon as Wednesday's series finale against the Boston Red Sox, and that's kind of leading us into our injury portion to wrap up the video. Same deal for Aroldis Chapman, who also could be back by Wednesday's series finale. So right away, those are two very big boosts, and all of a sudden, like within the last couple weeks, really, I guess obviously ever since the trade deadline, but like it's hard not to feel special about this team. Like, it's hard not to get really optimistic about our chances, because if we're going to get into the playoffs, which, like I said, I definitely think we will, if we can at least get past that very troubling, worrisome wildcard game, if we can get past that, I feel like our chances to come out of the American League and go to the World Series are as good as anyone. And yes, even the Houston Astros. Moving on, Gio Urshela and Domingo Germán, they're expected back late August. They are getting closer. I believe Germán, he threw a bullpen, or at least threw off flat ground. Urshela, he's running around 80%. So you guys can expect him, or we can expect him back in, I guess, probably a little bit over a week, maybe. As for Gleyber Torres, probably sometime around there as well, maybe a little bit after. But yeah, things are definitely looking up, not just with the way that we're playing lately, but just with the guys that are coming back. It's very good vibes right now in Yankee land. Like, it feels good to finally be able to be like, I don't want to say content, because I'm not going to be content till we win a World Series, but like, it just feels good to be happy about this team. And for a good portion of this year, we weren't able to do that. Anyways, that's going to wrap up this Yankees recap. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I'll probably come back maybe Friday to do another one of these. Like I said, I want to do at least like 3 a week and sometimes 4. But if not by Friday, we'll definitely probably do one this weekend. So yeah, I will see you guys next time on the next Yankees recap. Let's go Yankees.